Hi. Hi everyone, thank you for joining. Kollach ta dedet nurtamash ifir bechtesed na angliska. I ja, du ska starta han förvar med amsat chido. If you guys have any questions, you are always welcome to ask. Ichi sao larchen savet, пожалуйста, behana фасаулейн тейт. No mastash salam. Okay, so hi everyone, my name is Zarina and I am a member of the Pamiri Youth Network. Today I am going to present to you our project, just introduce you to our team, what we have been doing, and what we have planning, what we're currently doing, and then what we plan to do in the near future. I'm here to answer any questions that any of you may have, and I'm here to introduce you better to our team and our projects. So I'm going to start my presentation, and if you guys have any questions, you can just pop them in the chat. I'm going to, depending on our audience, I'm going to try and switch languages. Sto starate që në mishdo anglise e pomere, but I kam prezentacja jako rože ruse të vetë, so that's why I paeta mo është hojkom anglise të man dakto. Okay, so let's begin. This is our beautiful team. Can you guys see? Tama veneto focata вот понятно. Okay, good. All right, so this is our team. I would like to introduce you to the 8 girls that are behind all these projects that the Pamiri Youth Network is running. I am there. I'm just one of them. There is Gulru, me, Nilush, Nilufar, Bena, Golazor, Sabriniso, Rumia, and Dila. And we are located through Paris, Toronto, and London. And we met as just a group of friends. And we had this WhatsApp chat. And when the COVID came around, we decided to come together and put all our strengths together and start a project. So the first project that we did as a group was our first project was aimed at helping our community in Moscow, and where our goal was to raise 15,000 Canadian dollars and send it to Moscow, because at the time the Moscow community was struggling a lot because they lost their jobs, and because our Pamiri population in Moscow is mainly made up of migrants, it was really hard to bounce back from such a devastating situation where people lost their jobs, people couldn't have any money to pay their rent or even get the most basic necessities like food. So we decided to start a fundraiser, and in this fundraiser, we within a very short time we managed to collect over 18,000 Canadian dollars, and we transferred this money to 2 groups in Moscow known as Khairu Barakat and Noor. Khairu Barakat is a group that is made up of just women. They also came together during the time of COVID to help people in Moscow, to help communities in Moscow. And Noor is an established NGO that has been operating in Moscow and serving the Tajik migrant community for a very long time. The reason we chose to divide our funds between two groups is, first of all, we wanted to a large extent, since we're all women ourselves and we're girls ourselves, we wanted to empower a group that was starting up, and financial help is one of the main ways to empower our especially female community. So we decided to divide the funds between two. And then we also, a perk of that later on was that since they were all women, mostly women reached out to them, since women are more comfortable with reaching out to women with any help that they need. So after this money was transferred to these two groups, we have so far received some reports from Khairu Barakat, and since Noor is still delivering their help, we're still waiting to receive reports from them with exact numbers. But we did want to share with you some of the statistics that we had received from Khairu Barakat, where the people who got help are over 77 households reached out to Khairu Barakat. And mind you, the statistics are a little long. We're still waiting for a more updated version because help is still being delivered and the work is still being done on ground. 86% of these households who reached out, or like people who reached out to Khairu Barakat, were all women. And this is a huge motivation for us because we wanted to reach the most vulnerable people in the community, and through Khairu Barakat we were able to do it because, number one, it's a small group, number two, it's a women's led group, where that means like women and children are able to have more access to them and get help together. And 69 people or households got the help, and 38 of these were related to like baby products, baby food, and such. And these statistics showed us that these statistics really showed us that we are able to help people through other groups, and we don't necessarily have to be on ground to be able to do this kind of work. And it further motivated us to start new projects. And right now I want to introduce you to the new project that we've started. And the reason we started it was when COVID hit Tajikistan. It was really devastating because our medical personnel was not ready for it, our government was not ready for it, and the people really struggled. And therefore, when I know that our group members have been involved in other volunteer work as well, but with this one we decided to pair with the European Bank for Development. Yeah. And so we decided to fundraise to buy an oxygen generator and medical gear for Tajikistan. Why we decided to do this is, at the time, the medical personnel, especially like hospitals, were lacking a lot of equipment, and people started to fundraise. And because our community is so tight-knit and so close together, people from all over the world, from the US, from Europe, and wherever people were, they started to fundraise and help. And all the basic stuff was mainly delivered, like the smaller oxygen, we call them EVLs, which are the ventilators and all that. Those were all delivered. So therefore we decided to buy something bigger and long-term and sustainable that would last that would last our community for a longer time. And this is a huge need there, and you're gonna find out why. So I want to first show you what the machine looks like. The machine looks something like this. It acts as a station for smaller ventilators and life support machines to pump them with oxygen. So it's like a huge machine. If you can imagine a car going to a petrol station to get petrol, this would be the petrol station for the smaller oxygen for the smaller machines that deliver oxygen to people who are sick, especially with respiratory illnesses. And we're all well aware that COVID is a respiratory illness, and it affects the lungs and breathing, and oxygen is like the basic need, not just for COVID, but also for many other respiratory illnesses, heart illnesses, and as well as the fact that all surgeries require patients to be on life support, and this machine technically supports the life support, or like pumps it with oxygen. So usually what happens is these are these little cylinders. I mean, they're not little, but like, yeah, they're little compared to the machine. These cylinders are pumped with oxygen from a machine that is located in Dushanbe, and then they are transported to Horog, and then, you know, used to pump the machines to help people who are on life support or require oxygen therapy. And the harsh conditions along the way, it's like a 12 to 14 hour drive from Dushanbe to Horog, or to GBAO in general, where the drivers would go. The drivers would, oh my god, my team. The drivers would go all the way to Dushanbe, collect these, and then bring them back. And on the road, there's a lot of accidents that happen, and sometimes it takes a lot longer to reach where its destination, where it's supposed to. And unfortunately, that creates more problems for patients and more problems for people whose life depends on it. And this is mainly like general seasons. In the winter, it's even worse because of like avalanches and all these other roadblocks and road closures. That happen, and unfortunately, like, it creates a huge barrier for the oxygen to get where it's supposed to on time. So therefore, if we buy our own machine that is more accessible to people within GBAO, but also this machine is able to reach almost like 3 regions in Tajikistan, including Rasht and Hatlon, which are more accessible from where we planned for this machine to be, which is at the AKMC in Horog. And it's a more sustainable option for us to stop depending on the oxygen consistently being brought from Dushanbe. And with our conversations from our conversation with some doctors in Horog, we also found out that sometimes even the main oxygen generating machine, which is located in Dushanbe, has its own issues, and they may close down, and like, people's life literally depend on it. Like, it's not even a theoretical term, but it's like, it's life support, and if there's no pump to put oxygen into the life support, like, people will just literally die. So we have I have already told you about our partnership with EBRD, which is the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development. And since we have partnered with them, all the donations will be doubled, which means that in reality, this machine costs about $100,000, but we only need to collect 50,000 of it, because the other will be doubled. And this is an amazing opportunity that we did not want to miss out on, because it doesn't come around that often. And it was an amazing opportunity for us to put our strengths together and be able to buy this machine, hopefully. Okay, so what do we need from you? So we still need to collect around 41,252 pounds. And if we put it into perspective, if every person donates 10 pounds, that means that we will need about 4,125 people to collect this much. And to be honest, most people have more followers than 4,125, so that's why we really believe that we are able to do this. Even if we just concentrate on our Pamiri community, it's not that hard. People just need to stop being so indifferent. And yeah, like Bena said, it's one McDonald's meal. I mean, I don't think McDonald's is £10. 2 McDonald's meals maybe. But you know, it's something that's very possible to do if you put it into perspective. And you know, if people stop being so indifferent, we can do it. And our goal is to collect all of this by August, which leaves us with only 1 month to collect all these funds. Yeah, so the chat is so funny. So this leaves us with 1 month to collect all these funds. And unfortunately, as many of you know, the second wave is on its way, and it has already hit some of our Central Asian neighbors, like Kyrgyzstan, and I'm sure it's going to hit other nations as well. And we really, really do hope to have this machine, at least have the money for this machine in 1 month, so that when the second wave comes around, we're somewhat prepared for it. And this is a huge help, not just like physically, but also in terms of hope for medical personnel, for our hospitals, and for our region in general, for people to get through such a difficult time. So in 1 month, we just need 4,125 people to be able to collect all the money that we need if one person donates £10. Okay, so what should you do right now? So right now, at the end of this live, when you're done watching, you should go to our page, click on the link, and then go to donate £10 after you're done watching this video. We are well aware also that a lot of people are unable to donate, especially at such difficult times. So there's something else that you can do, is use your network. Use your network, reach out to people so that more people know about it, and share our links and our projects and our work with other people who will resonate with our work and who are able to help, so that they can also go ahead and share it with their networks. And this interesting thing about human beings are that we're so interconnected that at the end of the day, we shouldn't be indifferent to other people's pain and other people's struggles. So share with your network or donate. Like, I know I said £10, but like you can also donate like £1 or like £5, however much you are capable of doing. And we believe as a team that together we're able to, together we can. We have achieved so much in such a short time. We came up with this group only at the end of March to April, and so far we have achieved this much just within ourselves. So if other people join us and join forces with us, like people have, and they've supported us so much throughout our projects, and we hope to continue getting that kind of support and help, and be able to make a huge difference within our communities in the upcoming life. Because this machine is not just used for COVID, like I said, it's going to be used afterwards as well. And this kind of brings me to the end of my presentation. Thank you for joining, and thank you for being so active and making me laugh with all your chats. We didn't have as many viewers as we usually get, but maybe it's because the hour is early morning here at least, so people are probably still sleeping. But I am gonna save this video and we are going to share it with everyone. So yeah, if you do have any questions, please pop them in the chat. I know some of you asked questions earlier, but there's so much, so if you can ask those questions again, I would be very grateful. I have a question here. So are the doctors in GBO trained to use those machines? Oh, that's a really good question. Okay, so we're working with the Aga Khan Center that is located in Horog, and before we actually chose to work with them, we were in touch with all their doctors. We were in touch with their head of the hospital, and they reassured us of its maintenance and the fact that they will be able to work with it, and any future expenses that will be related to this machine will be included in their budget. So if they get it, then they will be able to maintain it and further use it, but they do have trained specialists who are able to use and maintain this machine. Any other questions from anyone? Okay. Oh. What has been the biggest challenge during this campaign? Collecting the money. I think one of our biggest challenge is that a lot of people are so grateful for our work, and they give us a lot of suggestions in terms of like, oh, do this, do that, or like they give us a lot of duas, barakat vere. But like if every of those people would also donate, then we would be able to reach our goal. So I think one of our biggest struggles has been to kind of convince almost people to donate, number one, and number two, there is a kind of language barrier, must I say, almost. So it's hard for, like, GoFundMe doesn't support any other cards except Master and Visa card, and a lot of people who want to help are either in Russia or Tajikistan itself, and we've had to set up like multiple accounts, and you know, sometimes it gets a little confusing to manage it all, and I think that has also been one of our struggles. So for example, my own parents who want to donate, they don't even like, they're like, okay, so what do we do? And I think communicating with some people has been quite a challenge for us, but you know, we're managing it really well. We're trying to translate all our stuff into different languages, and that's why you'll see that, you know, one week somebody will make a presentation in English, Russian, even Pamiri, probably in the upcoming weeks. So we're trying to make sure that we're very accessible to our community, who is so diverse in terms of their languages spoken. Barakat converter. The new joiners. Yeah, I think let me check our who is watching, and maybe I'll adjust my language. I think everyone here understands English, but actually understands and نكيت ماشام تمرلد إذا بينا هالمثل تمر فقط خوی روزینجا ماکدونالدز چیز داکتو پژرت و چیدو در ماش پروژه чтобы ماش ارو خود چیز بخو تیل فرابم اکو 50,000 جام که نمبات ای بیاردی و کیخت دباو یوتباسد 100,000 بات زازم خماشین. What did I enjoy the most? I think I enjoyed getting to know my group. It took us a while to find a dynamic, like a professional dynamic almost, to be able to work with each other because we're all such big personalities, leaders of tomorrow. And it took us, I really enjoyed that process, and I really enjoy the fact that, you know, now it's like so easy to just work and know exactly who is good at what and just divide the tasks accordingly. And yeah, I really enjoyed that. I also enjoyed working with a lot of our Pamiri communities that are very hard to work with, must I say. My audience is very active. Go Bena. Keep coming. Okay, well, için gaichi Saul Tavid Pehted. How does Canada manage? Bena torna forte za zailan sa naftim. Well, Canada is doing pretty well. I know for a fact that only 2 cities, Toronto and another city in the province that I'm currently living in, are how do I say this? Like only two cities are still having high numbers, but the rest of the cities have like lower than 30 new cases. That's the latest news, but we just had Canada Day on Wednesday, and beaches and you know, parks and all of those were packed. So hopefully the cases don't go back up. But as far as we're concerned, Canada is managing it really well, and we just made the top 10 safest places during COVID to be in. So that's a good thing. Okay, so I have a long question. Do you think this example of your work here will contribute in future upcoming issues? Will people be more ready, let's say, for such challenges? What kind of challenges? I mean, I'm gonna hope that this work is going to contribute to the future, because one of our main goals is sustainability. And that's why we didn't just buy like one-time use things, and we want to invest into something a lot bigger so that it's sustainable in the future for people not for people, for our entire community. And I think our project, I'm gonna tipa khatarifak. Our project inspired so many other fundraisers, because before we started our Moscow fundraisers, there were no other big fundraisers that were going on for our community. So ours was the first, and from then there were like waves of platforms that came up, all using like a GoFundMe platform. And if you look at the structure, the way all their information and stuff is structured, it's literally exactly how we structured ours, which means like we inspired so many people to you know, continue this work. And clearly it has already done something big, and I am sure that from our experience, people are now more open to working with like younger students, or almost like, you know, young upcoming generation more readily than they were in the start when we began this project. And some people didn't even want to take us seriously because we were young, but you know, we kind of put our foot down and had a firm hand and continued our work. And I'm sure that people will be more ready for us to come, and we'll keep coming. Okay, Trudeau. Oh yeah, Trudeau is a nice guy. Okay, thank you. I think I am gonna go now if there are no more questions, unless there are. Için gaichi saulesto. Yeah, Bena is